along with the guys that you work with at the PBC, navigating this boxing world with Marcos Madman, and then you being able to tap into to what's going on here in Fresno, because you being a big part of that, which we'll get into later.
Right.
But you understanding on both sides of this whole thing. A lot of uninformed boxing fans, they talk so much about this Top Rank versus PBC stuff.
Right.
What's your take on it?
You know what? That's big boy business.
Right.
Like, I'm not high enough on the totem pole to even really get into it.
Right.
But what I know is boxing is small, and the best way I could say it is everybody knows everybody, and everyone's probably have worked with everybody at one time or another. If I had a crystal ball and I was a genie, I think one day Al Heyman and Bob Arum will be eating lobster together and make a deal and make a super TV network and do those fights.
Right.
I believe it'll happen because the one time they did do it on a big level was ridiculous.
Right.
And everybody made tons of money, and it was the Pacquiao-Mayweather deal. So when they do come together, it's tremendous.
Right.
So it's just a matter of big people doing big things, and we don't know what goes on
Behind the scenes.
in their everyday at that level. Yeah, I don't have a clue. I
Right.
don't do $1 billion contracts. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't ever get caught up in that stuff, because that's like big boy business. I'm a soldier in this game. I'm not a general. So I'm in here working on what I do and control what I can control. And like I said, I got friends almost at every company in boxing. So I don't really get caught up in that. It's funny when I hear fans like, this one, that one, this one's going out of business. I said, do you realize how much money both of those individuals have? They're all right, believe me. And they do other stuff.
That well's not dry.
Yeah, no, not for a long time.
Yeah.
And we know that even deeper than we can say on camera. So my whole thing with that is I just enjoy boxing.
Right.
I don't get caught. It's like kind of like, I'm a Boston fan. I like New England Patriots. Go ahead, Tom Brady. I'm like Boston Celtics. I'm Boston, but I still enjoy. I live in California. I enjoy Raider games. I enjoy the Raider fan. I enjoy the Dodger fan, the Giant fan, and people, they have a love for their sport. If you just love sports and competition, damn, how could you not enjoy what's going on with boxing? I ordered my first MMA fight like the whole Rousey comeback.
Yeah.
I was just interested in just to see what would happen. Kind of knew. I kind of knew. I don't know. That wasn't her fault. I think she maxed out. She did what she could do.
It's very important. The fighters themselves to have the correct team, and it's definitely refreshing to come around and to meet you guys and to talk more with you guys to find out how tight you guys are moving your thing, and it's beautiful to see. You guys got this huge facility here at Breakaway. You
Beautiful
yourself
facility.
Being very knowledgeable and experienced in track. Your daughter being at the University of Southern California, USC, running track. You helping navigate Marcos Madman's career. What do you see for young athletes, and then the crew? Some people say the posse, the crew, but basically the support system. How important is that to fighters and to athletes that are aspiring to be professionals and stuff? How important is that for them?
Well,
to have the right people.
Well, I never really tell all the people that I work with, because I'm motivated by what God tells me to do. I tell people I follow directions. Some people want to call me a genius. Some people call me an asshole. Right. I just follow directions for what the Father tells me to do, and I'm involved in athletes in the NBA, NFL, on their way to college. I deal with almost 30 different colleges in different sports. A lot of people don't know what I do and what I don't do, and it's all to further our community and to show that when we work together across racial lines, across cultural lines, across religious lines, and we just do good work,
Right.
people can prosper and do well. When me and my wife first started our little organization with track and field, they told us, you can't win with kids from Clovis and Fresno. Us come from Massachusetts, we were like, what are you talking about? Kids are kids.
Right.
They adapt to whatever you put them in. So we just started taking them around national and international level coaches and competition, and they adapted.
Right.
And 6 of those girls are in college on full rides.
What some of the schools are those? What are the schools?
Well, most of the girls who wore a Valley Viper uniform, you got them at USC, you got them at Oregon, you got them at New Mexico, you have some at Fresno Pacific, just to name a few.
So real quick, with you guys running this huge facility and everything, and having top end athletes there, is it asinine sometimes to hear different trainers and people with these parents, because it kind of ends up being a money suck, and at the end of the day, they didn't have a realistic chance to do any of that, and they're thinking that that's a probability or most likely going to happen. I'm going to get a scholarship here.
I'm gonna sum it up to you this way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer your question in one thing, okay?
Right.
Victor Conti,
Right.
Balco,
Barry
Bonds, all these people. I sat with him one day, and I said, Victor, he now is hired to find people that cheat.
Right.
I went to his facility to learn some things, and just about hydrogen, oxygen, and water treatment to make athletes better, and then what sleep does to an athlete. And you know what he told me? Because I asked about that. I said, who are these super trainers, man? He said, listen, man, if you do everything I tell you correctly, your athlete can only get better 10%.
10.
Now, if all things are equal, 1% makes an NBA player to a LeBron.
Right.
He just have to be 1% better, and he's elite,
Right.
2%, you call him superstar and all this stuff. So if everything's equal, then yeah, those percentages matter. But if you ain't even on that level, or you don't have the genetic code, or you don't have the blessings, 10% is meaningless if you don't have it.
Right.
So for somebody to go pay a car note, to go hire some training for a 10-year-old, you could do that if it makes you feel good and it's something good to talk about at work. But save your money. Put that in the stock and bonds or the college fund, because
or teach your kid how to play the piano.
Yeah, teach a kid piano, or as Dick Gregory, my mentor, says, teach him how to play the bugle.
Right.
He said they give out 200 band scholarships per college.
Right.
Everybody fighting for the football scholarship. It's ridiculous.
Right.
So I say that because I have a scholarship athlete in my house.
Right.
But all my kids play violin, they play piano, they speak Spanish.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So if the sports don't work out, they cool.
Right.
They got something.
Right.
And that's what happens in my house.
Right.
So some people tell me, man, you guys are sport. I had people tell me that Lopes is crazy. He's sports oriented. They ask my kids, does your dad put a lot of pressure on you? They laugh. No, my dad don't care.
Right.
He just told us to be the best.
Right.
Out of all the kids I ever worked with, some of the most proud ones I have was little hood rat kids that's all in the military, doing great right now.
Right.
Married, having lives, and successful
That
offices.
if you weren't there in their lives,
They'd be in trouble.
They'd be in prison.
They'd be in trouble.
Right.
That's the most pride, because those were kids who nobody cared about.
Right.
They weren't athletic. They
Right.
weren't any of that.
Right.
They were just kids that wanted to work hard, and all of them are doing well.
Right.
All of them.
And it's true to see, because I know your history. A lot of people say, oh, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So now with your guys' breakaway fitness taking off, and you guys got all these high-end athletes, you guys have these things in the plans that are definitely progressing at a fast rate. What would you say to some of the parents and the young athletes that are looking to step their game up, that might not be even in the area to even come to breakaway fitness? What would you tell them to look for?
I would tell them to go out and search everybody.
Right.
Do I think we're the best at what we do? Yes. Do I think everyone else in the competition sucks? No. I say, parent, educate yourself. Go out and talk to all the different facilities and see where you fit. And if your child is having fun,
Right.
and they're enjoying themselves and it's not breaking your pockets, then go with that trainer.
Right.
I'm not gonna sit here and say who's the best, who's not the best, because it doesn't matter. It matters fit.
Right.
And that's the facts.
Right.
Okay? But if you want to quantify that, you look at results. We're results orientated.
Right.
So it speaks for itself. We don't have to down talk nobody. Don't have to do it. I don't have to do that.
Right.
I'm grown. I'm old. I don't even have time to do stuff like that.
Right.
You know?
And if you're being selfish, on any random Wednesday or Thursday, your daughter's taking an economics class on the University of Southern California's campus.
Anyway, my daughter's an intern at, working with ESPN, interviewing Chris Paul. That happened.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So that's a blessing.
Right.
But guess what? My daughter put the work in to get that.
Yeah.
We guided her, but she made the sacrifices.
Right.
So she had that in her. We instilled some of that, but it was some God gifts, and it was hard work.
Right.
So she put herself in that position. I can't take credit for that. I can take credit for being a quality dad,
Right.
and a quality coach and a mentor, but she decided how that was going to go down. Right. So that's how I went.
So now with your guys' gym, you're doing all the work that you're putting in with the Madman and the track and field game. I'm hearing that you downsized your program to only top-end athletes. to focus the time that you want to put into them. What do you see your 2017 looking like?
My 2017, I have a group of young ladies that are teaming up with an organization that you started, and it's a leadership thing. Now we've changed, man. You have to evolve. It's not about who can run the fastest and win the medals. It's about who's actually going to be in position. The world's changing. If you watch the election, you watch what's going on in a universal flow and what's going on in the world. We have to educate our children on the change. It ain't even about a master's degree no more. Right. It's about a connection. It's about a relationship, and how you can. The internet and all this social media got us moving fast. Deals are getting done in 30 seconds.
Yep.
That
I've seen you do one of those.
Yeah, you saw me do one while we were eating donuts at Hectic's house.
Right.
We did a real deal, and got somebody, made them a bunch of money
right before Christmas.
And right before Christmas when they needed it.
Right.
So I just think we have to stay alert and keep learning and keep sharing and supporting each other, and then the benefits will come. Universal law and universal order, he rewards you for that.
Right.
When you give, and it's of your heart, and it's quality, you get that back.
Right.
And that's been my experience. Right. When I was about Coach P, it didn't work.
Right.
When I became a giver and said, I'm gonna just do it for doing it, and people told me I was crazy. Yo, Coach P, you could have made $1 million on that deal. You let that go? It wasn't my guy though.
Right.
It was a friend who needed something, so I gave it to him.
And you put a whole entire family's position in the world. They're better off because you passed it along, and you weren't trying to be greedy.
Nah, because sometimes it's not about that. What if my blessings come from my mother, who had stage 4 cancer, was supposed to die 6 months ago? My mom's still here, bossing me around, talking crazy. That might have been my pay for that work. That's how I see things. You know what I mean? I don't see everything. Because they told me she wasn't gonna make it. She's here. She's good. She's blessed. So that might have been my pay.
Your karma account was.
Yeah, I can't. I don't do it off. I don't quantify off cash. I pissed off more money than people have seen in their life, and I'm not rich in money, but I have access to millionaires and billionaires and all that. And sometimes that's worth more. But I don't have the stress of a billionaire. I don't have the stress of a millionaire. But I can plug into that. But sometimes that ain't necessary for us to live and to be an asset to our community. And I think that gets lost in all the hubbub. You know what I mean?
Well, sports being marketed and being on TV 24
Yeah,
hours a day.
and people,
everybody's chasing.
Yeah,
that
people
dream,
want that dream. But what does the scholarship mean? Like, what if something breaks? What if you don't like it there? What if you don't even like the sport as much as you thought you did? Another thing, I got a statistic. They told me almost 25% of the female soccer players who go to college, they quit. Because they're burnt from all the soccer to get to that point. And these were quality programs and quality coaches that told me that. Because I was just asking questions like, how many people stay? They go, man, some of them quit. I'm tired. And I got to wake up at 5 a.m. and I got to study. It's too much.
So that's a message to the parents out there to really check their kids to make sure.
Ask them, man. Don't tell them, man. Ask them, are they happy? Like, really. And if they say no, don't go, yes, you are. Just, if they're not, let them go play the violin, man.
All right. So that's on the last note. Coach, anything you want to say to the boxing community out there?
Man, you know what? Keep supporting the sport. We need it. Help it grow. Don't have so much hate and envy. Man, enjoy the show. Enjoy what's out there, man. Fresno, enjoy this franchise, man. It's cool. Support the fighters, man. All you dudes out there pretending to be fighters, get some classes and really learn how to really fight so you don't get killed out there and get hurt, okay? That's important. We don't want anybody getting brain damage. We don't want anybody losing an eye. We don't want anybody losing their wits because they're halfway in the sport, man. Go ahead and do your homework and get with some real ones and get yourself in position and be in the sport, but be protected at the same time. You want to leave with your faculties, man. That's really what it's about. So, God bless.
Man, Coach Pete being one of the realest in the area, and that's a definite fact. That's an undisputed fact. Thank you for your time, my man. Thank you for the time that you put into the community.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.